Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the weekly Hosty Market Commentary, where myself, Killian Gordon, Business Development Manager out of the Scottsdale, Phoenix area in Arizona, and Craig Callion, the Business Development Manager for Hosty in the Colorado Springs Monument, Woodland Park, Greater Colorado Springs area. Here to give you our weekly thoughts on two homes that we picked off the market that we think may do good as short-term rentals. As always, this is no promise of performance. It is not investment advice. And everything we're sharing with you is based off of opinion of our experience in these markets, along with historical data. And as we all know, historical data doesn't always predict future performance. So these are just the homes that we have picked out that we feel make good short-term rentals. They're similar to other vacation rentals currently under our management. And so we'll go over a few. Why don't I start with my Arizona pick? Does that work?
Awesome. Let's dig into it.
Let's go for it. Let me share my screen here.
Looks like you're in the mountains yourself this week.
Oh, just a neutral background pick this afternoon. Okay. This property, let me start with where it is geographically, because that's always important, of course. This is a Tempe, Arizona property, and it is located obviously in Tempe. But I picked it because of its location, not only in Tempe, but in relation to other sought-after attractions in the Phoenix Valley area. So we are about 10 minutes from the Phoenix Sky Harbor National Airport, so easy to fly to and fly out from. We are about 15 minutes from the downtown Phoenix area, depending on traffic. We are also central to Mesa. A lot of things happen in Mesa: golfing, spring training, amphitheaters. We are in the heart of the ASU area, so that's everything from sporting events to just the attractions that colleges bring. And we're not too far from Chandler, Arizona. Looks a little further than it is on this map, but Chandler is also a heavily traveled area. Not to mention, of course, Scottsdale. We are a roughly 17-minute drive from Old Town Scottsdale, which is considered kind of the vacation tourist party area of Scottsdale. But this entire area is Scottsdale, and there's a lot of attractions even within 10 minutes of this property. So let me just back out quickly and go to the actual property. I would consider this one to be right in the middle for kind of a investor looking for a middle price point for a vacation rental. You know, it's not up towards $800 or $1 million or more, and it's not in your 300 or so 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom property. It's 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,300 square feet. Starting with the front, low landscaping costs, and we'll talk about more of that in the back. But it's zero-scaped, low maintenance in the front, and a good or decent curb appeal for this price point. The back, of course, which we always talk about for Arizona homes, AstroTurf, low operational costs in terms of lawn care. Your pool, which is new, I believe it's Pebble Tech. Your patio sitting area, so decent backyard for guests, and we'll get a little further, but I believe there's RV parking. Wide, spread out open kitchen. I'm a little bit indifferent on the cabinets for short-term rentals. Obviously, it's nice to have cabinets to house all your dishes. Depending on how the pictures are taken, it can look very aesthetically pleasing. But wide open floor plan, unique fireplace, new appliances, new fixtures, are newly remodeled, essentially. All your rooms are large enough for at least your queen or your king-size bedroom, the master being a walkout to that backyard, which is a huge perk. But continue a little bit on to the backyard, because that is, as we talk about, one of the big selling points for Arizona vacation rentals. Large pool, I believe it's a diving pool, so about 8 feet deep. It would be one that would have to be heated, always a suggestion out here. So considering that in your startup costs with your furniture, any renovations, and then a pool heater out here running from, $6,000 to $10,000 with the electrical cost in there. It just depends on the size of the pool. But again, bedrooms, wide open space, flowing floor plans, guests can interact with each other nicely. And then, of course, your backyard area, which is where guests are going to spend the majority of their time. This home, I have roughly at about $72,000 in gross revenue. Some comps would put a little bit higher, some comps would put it a little bit lower, but I'm just using that number to spark conversation around this property. We could dial in on that more specifically if it was this property or a similar property. So not to take the whole time up here, Craig, I will end this. But any questions just as a potential buyer or as an agent yourself when looking at this property from the view of a short-term rental, even maybe assisting a client?
I mean, I think it looks like a great deal, and it looks like they even have a 10K concession written in there too. So somebody buy this place. And the numbers that you ran, those sound like, I mean, this is the first time that we've done this, that I picked a property that's more expensive than yours just with the market, because mine, you'll see it's in the 700s, but man, no, I think you got a little gem there.
Well, wonderful.
And
Cool.
I guess the question that I do have is AstroTurf. I mean, I know it's a common thing out here. I'm assuming that's pretty by the books out there where people are doing that, or xeriscaping. You clearly don't have wands there, but is AstroTurf kind of like a elevation of a listing? If you want to get from, level B to A, get the AstroTurf instead of the xeriscape rocks, I guess.
That's a great question. In general, I think maybe this also, you'd agree with this speaking to your market. In general, a vacation rental that has low lawn care costs is a good idea. It drops down your operational cost. It eliminates some guest issues, property care issues, appearance, sightliness. It helps overall from a management perspective and a guest experience side of things. In Arizona, this is a little bit more prevalent because lawn care has additional steps in this area because of the heat. Lawns need to be reseeded every basically half year at the turn of the seasons. There's basically summertime grass and wintertime grass. And so lawn care plus the trimming of bushes, palm trees, it can kind of get pricey as a cost of doing business for short-term rentals out here. So a lot of people go to AstroTurf to lower that cost. It's expensive to put in initially, but over time, it's more sightly to guests because in areas like Colorado where the weather can destroy grass and you've got brown grass or patches and all that, and then rain can come and it's a mud mess, eliminates that. But out here too, people like to put putting greens in their yards. It's a big attraction out here. People come for golf, that outdoor related vacation. And so a suggestion for this one would be to take a half of this area, which is already good for cornhole, bag toss, whatever it is, and to maybe put a 1 or 2 mini golf putting course in here. That always helps increase your occupancy, your revenue, amenities. Yes. So
it sounds like a very affordable amenity to put in there. So
yes, function is mainly, but aesthetically, and then but mainly function and how it presents. It also looks good in a lot of the marketing pictures. So yeah,
absolutely cool. Well, thank you for digging into that.
Yes,
I will grab the wheel here and share my screen. So yeah, this is the first time in the history of the Hosty Market Commentary where my house is more expensive than yours. So
it also kind of speaks to the different markets we operate in.
It does.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, the reason I picked this one, so it's a 5-bedroom, as you can see, and let's dig into the location here. So I spoke before about the Black Forest area and kind of the expansion of what I predict the northern market to do as our city grows. It's obviously growing outwards. So, north is really taking a lot of the new attractions. We have a ton of buildup in Interquest. We're getting that amphitheater up in that area as well. And then, so you have everything going on around here with Interquest, but you feel like you're in, the forest in the middle of nowhere. So I think this location is amazing. And then the house itself, we will take
Can I interrupt you
here.
real quick? I saw the Air Force Academy on that map. What's the rough distance to the Air Force Academy? Because I know that's a big one out there for you guys.
Air Force Academy from that property would be, you'd get there under 15. So Air Force graduation is a huge, huge draw for people coming here. I mean, I've seen it where people book a year in advance. They, check out and they want to book the same home for the next year. So great point. Being close proximity to the Air Force Academy is a key driver for what I think this home would bring in. So digging into it, 5-bedroom house, and 5-bedroom homes in our market only make up 7% of the total market. So really the competition here is pretty sparse when it comes to that. So that's why, 4 or 5-bedroom homes, you're just going to simply have less competition and more demand. So the interior of this home, I think, was done really well. It makes me think of, like a coffee shop, kind of feel, the trendy, white and the stained wood. I think it was really, really well done when it was remodeled. Big open kitchen, and then kind of the same thing here with they got some, cabinets, some exterior exposed wood. So I'm also indifferent with that when it comes to a short-term rental. But with this one, you do have a ton of options for the kitchen here. And, it's important to have a big kitchen in these homes because you could accommodate up to 12 guests. So having adequate storage, seating space, all that is crucial, which this one indeed does. So kind of more your pantry area there. And the other draw on this is, as you can see, there is little to no carpet whatsoever. It looks like all hardwood floors. You got 2 fireplaces there. This would be more so your game room. You throw a pool table in there, maybe a wet bar. Seeing a lot of arcade games in short-term rentals that kind of create that nostalgia with Pac-Man for some of us. I enjoy a good game of Pac-Man. So, and I believe this one was a 4-bedroom. So tons of space. It's got 2 furnaces, so a lot of space to heat. So they were both, I think, new within the last year, if I read the listing right. So huge garage as well. And then the thing that I think is the most telling about this property, you can see here, you're close to everything, but not close to anyone. So I think that is crucial in these homes because people are coming here, they want the experience, they want to be with their group, they don't want to worry about hearing their neighbors, they want to live outside their means for a little bit, and having a huge house in Black Forest that you can accommodate 3 generations of your family, that's huge. I would only recommend a hot tub for this property, simply for the fact that creating the entire experience there. With this home, I found it to be, let's see here, because I wrote down some numbers.
While you're pulling that up, just between that large basement that would make a great space for game rooms, a theater, whatever it may be, and that those vaulted almost A-frame ceilings, you see, now this isn't an A-frame cabin, but you see
Sure.
that those A-frame style exposed timber, I'm losing, what are those called?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, like the A-frame look. I think right, as long as it's trendy on
it's
the
a huge
OTAs, the
selling
Airbnb
point in
sites.
Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, and what's
rafters.
really
I
telling with
could be
this
using the
property.
wrong wording.
No worries. No, I mean it's where I think the trends are going. That's where you see like featured property on Airbnb. At least I do, but it could be specific to my browsing history. With this one, the benchmark numbers that I ran, the scenarios put us at about 135 to 142K gross income on an annual basis. So I think that is a great return. And you get a hot tub in there, you have a professional management company manage it. That could just be the floor there of what's possible. So I think there's a ton of opportunity with that home. And yeah, first time in history that my house is more expensive than your house. So
there you go. Have to find something. Well, I like that too, because we've got something for everyone. We're working with people who are dipping their toe in this for the first time and maybe want a smaller, less expensive home, all the way up to a wealth management group. So
I'll point out on that home too. As you may have noticed, it's a newer listing, so I think it only came on yesterday. There is an open house open to the public Saturday. So by all means, if you want to know more information, please, let myself or, the affiliate with Hosty know, and they could connect you to me. But it is open to the public if anyone watching did want to take a walk through that guy on Saturday. So yeah, any other questions on that listing, Killian?
No, I think it's a great pick. I think you found a large property just outside of where Colorado Springs permitting requirements end, which is a big plus.
Crucial.
And I would completely second that northeast side of Colorado Springs is probably where the majority of growth is going to be taking place. And you're already seeing all those tourist travel related industries pop up in that area: indoor skydiving, go-karting, whatever it is, Top Golf,
Whataburger,
luxury theaters. Yeah, yes. And the Air Force Academy. And you're still about, 15, 20 minutes from Garden of the Gods.
Yeah, I mean, somebody once put it here for me in perspective. A lot of our guests that come to Colorado Springs specifically are driving from Kansas, driving from Texas, so on and so forth. So, to us, it might seem daunting, a 25-minute drive to here or there, but to them, it's like, oh, cool, we get to see more of the city. 25 minutes is nothing. I just drove 6 hours. So somebody laid that, out for me once. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So, I mean, you have, you're not right next to downtown or the west side by any means, but that's a quick, easy day trip of, just go down there for the day, spend the day, then come back up to the north end.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. Great pick. Any
Awesome.
final thoughts before we sign off?
No, I mean, I, as always, encourage people to comment, ask questions. Please let us know if there's any specifics that you'd like to see or just know more about the process. So we want to make this as interactive as possible.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. Tune in next week. And as always, thanks for joining us.
All right. Have a good day.